Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with the 6th layout using the Mayhip kit. This one took me 53 minutes to complete and I'm showing you some of the stuff that, I just kind of pulled to try to use on this layout. A lot of it is not going to be used on this layout because when I start a layout, I have absolutely no idea where I'm going to go with it. I just this one I knew I wanted to use some blue elements, so there's a lot of blue there with the scraps of blue, that blue star pattern paper. Love that pattern paper. And then I took some of these, I think it's Avalicious. I'm trying to see there. The screen is so small. The little alphas in the wood grain. I think that came in the Project Life add-on, but I wanted to use it on this layout. And this is a picture of us in waiting in the subway station, like downstairs where you're waiting for the subway. And outside was about 100 degrees. Well, in there was about 150 degrees. Like it was so hot. And you got to remember, like, we have hot days here where we live, but I mean, that was hot and humid, and it was just so the kids aren't used to that. And my middle daughter, like, she can really express herself really well. She's never had any problems expressing herself. When she was younger, we used to call her a little drama queen because, she could express herself really well. So the title of this is going to be How Much Longer I'm Going to Die because she was so hot and she cannot stand being warm. Like, I can't stand being cold. She can't stand being warm. And she's always like, when you touch her, she's always like, she's like a little heater. And so is my son. And it was so funny. Like earlier on that day, we had gone, I think it was that day, we had gone on the boat ride. And for some reason, he put his hoodie on. Well, when we were in line for, to wait for the boat, he thought he was going to pass out. My friend that I work with, she goes, take your shirt off. So anyway, we took the shirt off and we gave him water. We made him sit in the shade while we waited. But, so I thought this was just kind of funny and, appropriate, because that's how they are, how much longer I'm going to die. Everything's kind of like to the extreme, right? So that's going to be the title of this. So I took the picture and there wasn't enough to mat the whole photo so that you could have all four sides covered. But then what I decided to do was I thought, oh, well, that's okay, because then what I'll do is just on the bottom right, that's just determined where a layer was going to be. So then I took a label and I have a powder tool. Oh, if you don't have one of those, it is so worth it to get. They're only like $4, I think, and it's filled with powder. It has a little brush top, and it takes the stickiness away from stickers so that you can move your stickers around on your layout. And then when you're ready to go, you can still add your regular adhesive. So you can add your ATG, you can add your glue, and it sticks right back on. But it just gives you that freedom that you can move stuff around. And it's been one of my favorite tools for a long time now. And so that's what I did. And then, so I'm going to build a cluster to the right there. And I'm not gluing anything down because I know I want to do something to the background. But where this is brown, the colors in the color add-on this month is blue, yellow, and green. So I know I don't want to do that. I want to use one of the Amy Tangerine templates. So I'm kind of, looking at it going, okay, I know I want to put maybe some of it to the left, some of it to the right, but how am I going to do this? So I'm kind of tapping my fingers, kind of thinking, and then I thought, watermark. So I went and got my Versamark, but I got my Versamark it's a different kind of Versamark. It's glittery. Love that stuff, and I'm showing it to you there. Okay, so I stopped the recording so I could take a quick look at it. It's called Versamark Dazzle. And what it is, it's like Versamark, but it has some dazzle to it. So it shines. So once you put your powder on, which I'm just going to put some clear embossing powder, it's not just like a watermark, but it's shiny. And there's one time I did that for my alphabets. Oh my goodness, they were so pretty. I had die cut some of my own letters, and I had used the Versamark Dazzle on it and then some clear embossing powder. Just beautiful. And that's what I find, like I have, all this stuff in my stash, like different tools and stuff. And I've been scrapbooking for 17 years, so I find like I do stuff for a long time and then I get away and then I come back to it. And it's like nothing I find, there's stuff that is in fashion again, you know what I mean? But if you wait long enough, it'll come in fashion again, right? So it's the same thing with the scrapbooking products. I don't get rid of anything because it'll come back. Eventually, that stuff will come back. For example, tiny stickers, like letter stickers. Years ago, I remember I still have a ton of them. I should take them out. And they were all the rage, and I had them. I showed it closely there. I had them in every color, and then all of a sudden, tiny stickers were not cool anymore. And so anyway, I kind of put it away in my stash. And then now, right, all the little tiny stickers, they're all back. And so that kind of stuff, it recycles, it comes back. So, don't despair even if something goes out of style for a little bit. Like right now, the rage is watercoloring and, getting messy on your page. I'm sure that's going to go away. And then something else will come along. And then it'll come back. So what I'm doing right now is I made my own ink blending tool. And so what I do is the first time that that I use it for a color, I have those 3/4 inch circles, and I ink 2 of them. One I ink to put on my blending tool, and then I put the color that it is. I put DI for Distress ink, and then that I would have put Mermaid Lagoon. But the other thing I do is I take another sticker and I put it on my paint or my ink. The reason I do that is after a while, I couldn't remember. Do I have a dauber for that? Like, or ink blending tool for that? I didn't know. So I would spend all this time looking through my ink blending tools just to find out that I didn't have it. Or I would, run out of patience and make another one and then notice that I already had one later on. So now I put a sticker on my ink, and then I know, yes, you have a blending tool for that. Keep looking, you'll find it. So by putting that distress to the side like that with the template and the Versamark ink and the clear embossing powder, and then I heated it with my heat tool, it kind of put a place for my title too, because there are kind of lines. And the reason I chose that one, it kind of reminded me of the subway rails, and so that's why I want to do that one instead of any other one. And then I'm going to use those little tiny stickers, letter stickers, for how much I'm gonna. And that's going to be with those stickers. And then with the blue ones from Pebbles, I'm going to put longer and die, just so that my title kind of pops off the page a little bit more. Now, I had punched out some of these circles from the pink paisley pattern paper, and one of them had some almost like looks like a little fan, so I thought it's perfect for this layout because they were all like dying from heat. And then I'm going to build the little clusters. And when I'm getting ready for a kit, what I do is I go through it at first. I choose about 8. Okay, the recording stopped, and hopefully I remember what I was saying. So I choose about 8 pages. I choose the background, and then I choose the pattern papers, the embellishments, and then I choose photos. And then I have like 8 layouts ready to go. I have no idea what I'm going to do with those layouts, but at least I know you know, I have a ton of embellishments. It doesn't mean that I'm going to use them all on this layout, and whatever I don't use, I just put back into my kit and in the iris containers. But what I end up having is a ton of stuff, and then I start doing my embellishment clusters, and I start with the biggest element. So let's start with the top left. So I had a circle that I had punched out from the pink paisley pattern paper, and it was all circles, and I punched it out with a 2-inch circle, and it was perfect because it was a little fan, or it looks like a little fan, and where I'm going to talk about how hot it was. Perfect. And then in that cluster, I took a piece of pattern paper that was sort of a little square, and I put it in behind the circle, and it's going to kind of peek in behind those 2 clips too, and the 2 clips says heart fun. And then to the left of that cluster, then I start layering the smaller embellishments. But I start with the biggest of the smaller, if that makes any sense. So the blue label, and then the gold one over the top of that, and then I put a little puffy star, a little heart, and then I took one of those little tickets that are from the little cut apart sheet, and I layered it on that. Now the bottom right, I took again a label, and remember when I cut out that pattern paper, it wasn't big enough for the whole picture, but no worries, I am just going to cover it all up. So I used a label and then a circle. Okay, I had to go make sure that I hadn't talked about all this before, so I don't think I did. I went through most of the recording, but and then I just kind of kept layering. You know, I cut out a heart from the cut apart, and I added another little gold label there, and I want it because gold and craft I find goes really well together. So I'm making sure I got gold in all 3 clusters. The bottom one is a square. I put the word sunshine that is in gold, and then, you know, added a little bit of stuff. Then I thought at first that I might do my journaling directly on the layout. I decided against it, and I just cut a piece of Project Life card and in the grid, and I'm going to do my journaling on that. I thought I got a little family fun little tag there. I'm going to kind of move it around on the layout a little bit and see if maybe I can try to use it somewhere, and I decide against it. And so like I said, it's going to stay on the layout for a little bit, but I'm going to take it off. And then the wood veneer, and I'm going to outline all the layout with a brown marker. And then I'm going to add the wood veneer too on top of that heart that says you're special. And that's kind of an inside joke that about this trip. Maybe I should do a layout about what it's all about. But anyway, when Katie looks at this, I know she'll get the inside joke, but I'm not going to talk about that on this layout. So I'll probably do another layout, you know, kind of talking about the you're special kind of thing. And so that's going to pretty much finish off this layout. And I had a question because when I first started doing my YouTube videos, I used my Glimmer glaze all the time. And I have a ton of Glimmer glaze. And I love and I'm showing it to you right now. I'm using it, the Fuzzy Coconut it's called. And I love Glimmer glaze because it dries on anything. So it'll dry on anything slick or anything like that. And it's shiny and it dries like in a little bubble. I love it. But again, like I said, sometimes you use something and then you get away from it and you don't use it anymore. So somebody said, hey, I haven't seen you using your Glimmer glaze in a long time. Do you still use it, or do you still have it, or something like that? So I just thought I'd bring it out and use it on this layout. So that's it. The page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.